We're now looking at the person or persons that will carry out your wishes in your will. That person's known as an executor. Now, there's a real misunderstanding as to the role of executor. I'm going to make this very clear. The executor is a squashed cabbage leaf. The executor is servile, is a servant of the beneficiaries. And for that reason, if you've got 5 children and they all hate each other, then you should appoint all 5 of them as executors. Oh, Professor Davies, believe me that my second son's third wife, she's horrible. I don't care. The role of executor is servile. So it's better that the 5 children all hating each other work at the executor level. If the children all love each other, then still appoint them all as executors. Oh, Professor Davies, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to appoint my 2 oldest children as the executors because one's an accountant and one's a financial advisor. Well, you've misconstrued the purpose of the executorship. In fact, as your third child, I am offended that Mum, Dad, you didn't appoint me as one of the executors, and I'm going to buck up. So remember, the will is a political document. It needs to deal with issues where then when there's a death of a person, there is a grief process that the beneficiaries and executors go through. Denial, anger, and what have you. And you are only creating anger by selecting your 2 favourite children as the executors. And just because I'm not a financial advisor or an accountant, I'm a plumber, I still want to be involved in that process. And I agree with them. The plumber has got the skill set to telephone a real estate agent, a lawyer, another financial advisor, or an accountant. So let's have a look at these hints. How many executors can I have? You have as many as you want. In this case, if you've got 12 children, appoint them all. We will explain how to get a grant of probate for free. It's part of the service that you're paying for in the will. And we'll under a number of the websites of Supreme Courts around Australia, they allow 4 executors, in which case we'll get some to announce. I don't know the address of one of the executors. It's fine if you just put in Australia or the state or the state or the suburb they live in. Wagga's actually a town, but a very big town. Can executors be the beneficiaries? Yes, I've already said that generally the grant of probate takes 3 months. After that time, the executors finish their job and they go home. They've gone. So what was the point of leaving out one of your children? Of course, if you hate one of your children, then by all means punish them and leave them out as the role of executor. I have unborn children. So there's unborn children. That's fine. Just if you have additional unborn children, then just email us and we'll give you a voucher to update the will for free, because you can update wills and power of attorneys for free on our website. And we'll also show you one of the hints here as well, how to appoint the underage children or children not yet born. Because I know you can update your wills for free, but at some point you'll get dementia or you'll die. Or you'll forget to change your will. So we want to put the best foot forward now to do the best possible will you can. And if you are going to have more children or potentially have more children, there's no harm in adding them to the executor clause at the moment. Read all the hints and then complete the executors. If there's the oldest child, normally, remember, it's a political document. It's a political document, the will. You put in your oldest child first, then add another, then add your third child in. And because your children are still toddlers, they're only, one's 3 months old, the other is 6, and the oldest is 9, I'm going to add Uncle Harry and also Auntie Susan. So I've now got 5 executors that I'll put in there. Uncle Harry will be dead at the time you're dead, because it's highly likely your children will be in their 60s when you die. But just in case you die prematurely, then Uncle Harry and the aunt can carry out that job. We're now going to move to the age of majority, but just note that there are 3 ages of majority in the will, and the first one's in the executor clause. So I'm going to make the age of majority the next question. I'm going to make it 21. So my children can't get their hands on the money to the 21, but in the executor clause for this 9-year-old child, I'm going to make it 18. So while my children can't get their hands on the wealth until they're 21, I'm still going to allow them to be executors. Why? Why, Professor Davies? Well, looking after money is a big responsibility, and you know that. That land tax and that payroll tax and some other local councils writing to you about fixing up your back laneway and what have you. It's a lot of time and effort to look after money. Now, Auntie Susan and Auntie and Uncle looking after the estate while the children are becoming of age. But if they're already 18, get them involved with the uncle and aunt as well. So when the time comes, when they turn 21, it's no longer a windfall. The children have worked hard to look after the money. So just to recant, most people will make the age majority for the executor 18. In fact, most people will leave the age majority getting the money at 18 as well. But if you made it, say, 25, I think that's too old. But if you made it 25, then the children are still executors at 18. Now we're going to move to the age of majority, or the general age of majority.